Haha, I'm
Oh,
here.
perfect. Oh my God. Love the background.
It's my shirt says, I don't know if you can see it. Hang on. My shirt says, "Be in a world full of carols. In a world full of carols, be a Joe Exotic."
So I have
Yikes.
not seen it yet. Tell me, do I need to watch it?
Oh, you what?
No,
How?
no,
What
seriously, because,
rock have you been living under?
well, when it first came out, everybody's like, you got to see it. And then a buddy of mine's like, no, don't see it. Like, it's the worst show ever. And so I mean, I have all these others in my queue and I'm like, okay, do I watch it or not? But it looks like you love it.
I do like very embarrassingly love it that it's like it's definitely a guilty pleasure love, like it's not something that you're like proud of, like I lie about how many times I've seen it kind of thing, but you know it is what it is. What else is on your queue, because that's going to depend on whether you should watch it or not.
I don't remember, but I like the CIA movies. There's one coming out tomorrow called, it's with, what's the guy who plays Thor? It's literally,
Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
yes, he has
Yeah.
a movie coming out tomorrow, which is in my queue. But so what's the story about though? I mean, because there's a lion, I'm looking at him right now, and
Yeah.
somebody died at some point. Like, honestly, I'm the type of person who I love, like, I watch Netflix all the time. And I
Mm.
have a ton of movies that I'm watching. Game of Thrones was like my number one, but I had the ability to like wait until the end of the season to watch it and not have any clue what happened. I can like filter everything out.
Yeah.
So I've filtered all. I have no idea what this is about, other than
Oh my
it's
god.
a reality show and it's some random 80s looking guy with the tiger. And he killed someone apparently. Is that right?
So kind of. It's pretty good for like being like not having watched it. So it's a documentary that about this guy, Joe Exotic, who ran his own private zoo, and then
Hmm.
also some other like big cat people. So they owned their own like private zoos. And he's in jail right now for allegedly conspiring to kill one of the girls, one of the other big
Okay.
cat people. And her name is Carol Baskin. So like what's so funny about it, because like my shirt says like in a world full of Carols, be a Joe Exotic. So
Okay.
like Carol is this like super like earth mother, like super sweet looking type person, and she's the craziest one on the show, like for sure. Like she came on screen and I was like, that lady has no life in her eyes, like she is a psycho.
Yeah.
And they all are insane. What was funny, I think part of the reason I liked it so much is like I love documentaries. Like documentaries are one of my favorite
Hmm.
genres. But I remember seeing commercials for his zoo,
Mm.
because I'm from that area, like not Oklahoma, but I'm from, Texas, and I had family that lived in Oklahoma,
Hmm.
and or in Texas, like close to the border. And I would see commercials for the zoo and wanted to go. Like I wanted to go to this thing. And like it's so funny watching it back and you're just like, oh my, like I missed like
Yeah.
on a lot. You know what I mean?
So I love documentaries too. So you work in security, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
There was a documentary that came out. I can't recall it. It's up tip of my tongue, about the cat, like who killed the.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you watch
Oh
that?
my gosh, that is nuts. I turned it on because I think there were people talking about it on Twitter or something, and
Yeah.
it popped up in my, you would probably like this kind of thing, and
Hmm.
which was surprising because most all Netflix thinks that I like is like Ricky Gervais, because that's what I watch most of on Netflix. um, so it was something, and it had like a really crazy title, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this is about. And I'm not kidding you, like the first 15 minutes in, I was like, what
Yeah.
is
Hmm.
going on? Like this is not what I
Yeah.
expected.
Well, I felt
Yeah.
like I was watching, like I was in the dark web. It was like that creepy.
Yeah.
It was,
So creepy. Also, can we talk about how amazing those people are that
oh, I
like
know.
found all this stuff? Like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. How do they? I mean, I mean, Reddit. I mean, Reddit's like known for that, right? All these subreddits where people are like conspiring to find. There was one, I think, on the news. I think this might have been in New York or Boston, because you're in New York, right?
Mhm.
So there was this woman newscaster. She was like reporting live at this marathon, and this guy came from behind her and like smacked her butt. And
Yes.
and like everybody like
Yep.
rallied, Googled everything, found his number, found his name, found his LinkedIn profile. It's crazy. You have to be careful what you do on today.
Well, I mean, with both of the scenarios we're talking about here, those people definitely deserve to be put to justice. But
Oh, of
like,
course.
it's so funny because you're just like, I've also seen it on the other side where, people are like doing things like maybe a celebrity will like post a drone video or something and they will
Hmm.
like rally together to try and figure out where they live. And it's
Hmm.
like, all right, y'all, like
Yeah.
that's too far.
Hmm.
But it is kind of fascinating, like what you don't realize you are putting out there, I mean, like,
I know.
oh my gosh, I cringe on like Facebook whenever it'll pop up like a memory and it's like I had tagged literally my house and was just like
Yes.
coming home, like with some stupid name that
Yeah.
I'd come up with, and it's like, y'all,
Yeah.
this is not good.
We were so young and immature in those early Facebook days.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank
Yikes.
you. By the way, thank you. I mean, we've never met in
I
person.
know, it's so fun.
So this is cool. You're like somebody I can totally vibe with. I can just see it. That's why we connected on Twitter, obviously. So you work in security, but you're in marketing, right? So you do marketing for a security company. What kind of security? I know a little bit of security. We have a lot of security clients. I've done a lot of work in security. So what kind of security is it? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I actually came to this company to be in sales. I was in sales for most of my
Okay.
career. This is my first marketing gig,
Oh.
and it was which was like really cool because I've always kind of had an affinity for it. And of course, like social media is a big part of my life,
Hmm.
especially now. So my company is a consultancy, so we don't sell any product.
Okay.
All of our talent comes from like ex IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, and
Smart people.
we oh the don't even get me started. I have never felt like as like not smart ever around anybody as I do with this group of people because they just say stuff like that's just normal, like
Yeah.
dinner conversation. I'm like, mate, I have no idea what you're talking about
Well,
right now.
well,
um
there's in the IDF, there's like the really smart side, and then there's the side that just kicks ass.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
real quick, if I can interject real quick, I
No,
have ADD,
please.
by the way, so I'm sorry. I do this
It's
all the time.
fine.
My wife hates it.
It's fine.
But so we had a house, we remodeled our house a couple of years ago, and the construction company, the owner and his son, and then their project manager, they were all from Israel. And became friends with them, and we're actually super close friends now on Facebook. But turns out that both the sons were in the IDF,
Oh
and
yeah.
these dudes, I mean, it's insane. Like they were small dudes, right? They're not like big and buff and crazy, but like they had no fear,
Hmm.
and they were just like they did great work too from a construction perspective. But to your point about the IDF, and he's super smart too. They grew up in LA, and it's funny because they went back to Israel purposely to join the IDF. Like they didn't
To join
have
the
to,
yep,
right?
that's
And
actually
then
very common.
yeah, they did 2 years and they came back and lived their life. So tell me
Mhm.
about this smart person at your company.
It's amazing. So our what's really cool is our CEO, our two co-founders, or two of our co-founders, come from like completely different backgrounds. So our CEO was a combat guy. So he was one of those like special forces combat, like
Hmm.
yo. He actually created like it's oh my gosh, he's amazing. I genuinely love like the senior leadership in our company. They're so
Yeah.
fascinating. So Ron, our CEO, actually created the first cybersecurity defense program within the IDF. So
Oh, okay.
back in the 90s, he likes to say that he felt like he was speaking science fiction because it wasn't a huge threat vector then. And he was like, no, this is going to be the next wave. And of course, look at what it is now. So, and Israel is leading the pack in security and
Hmm.
has for many years. And then you have Moshe, who is the technical guy. And this is the one who he'll be just sitting this actually happened. We were at dinner after like a QBR or something, and he just in the middle of dinner just starts like teaching us about cryptography. Like this is just how his brain works. And it was so amazing because I'm such a nerd too. Like I love
Yeah.
security. I love everything about it. And I was just sitting there like in awe. Like I was basically drooling, just
Hmm.
like this is the coolest thing ever. Like I've never experienced that before. You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy.
It
Um,
was so cool.
yeah. So it's funny because I've done I've had a lot of clients, like I'm not technical, I'm a marketing guy. I've always been a marketing guy, but
Mm,
I've had a lot of clients who are extremely, like McAfee was a large client of mine, Alien Vault. I work with Splunk now, and they have a large security business. And, we do a lot of analytics and
mm,
insights to understand, like, what are CISOs or what are CIOs, or even like the security architect or security engineers, like what's top of mind for them? What are they working on? Who are they?
mm,
What are their interests and characteristics? And we give that information back to clients so that they can create programs that are, if we know that, malware is top of mind for a certain audience within security, then we can build programs around malware or endpoint security or whatever it is. And so I'm fascinated by security because it's super, like, it's not an easy skill to attain. And I would bet that a lot of these companies are higher. Obviously, everybody not everybody, but like these really smart people can probably hack into anything, right? And I was watching. I bring this up because I was watching a video. I don't know. Have you ever gone on one of those, like, you log into or you go to YouTube and like you watch recommended videos and like 5 hours later, like, oh my God, where did my day go?
like every day.
Okay, so I was doing that the other day, and I came across this random. I don't know how I got there. It was this video of this hacker who basically got a phone call from this company in India.
Mm,
And I don't know if you've ever gotten a phone call that said, hey, we need to reset your iTunes account. Have you ever gotten that call? Okay. It's obviously not real. And so he went along and he let them connect to his device,
I think I've
but
seen
he
this.
connected to theirs.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he
I've
wired
seen
into
it.
their CCTVs and literally mapped out their names, he called out the CEO. It was insane. I was scared. And then, so my wife, she works for eBay and she's a
Mm,
recruiter, super paranoid about like security and privacy. So
sure.
every laptop she gets from work, she puts the little sticker over, over the camera.
Yep, I have a webcam cover
Do you? Okay.
on every
And after
device.
mine's always on, right? And I figure, hey,
Yeah.
if the green light isn't on, then it's probably not recording. Anyway, very naive, obviously, on my part. But it's when you were talking about that, it brought me back to that in the video I was watching. It was just crazy what you can do with
It's
technology
crazy.
today. It's insane.
It's crazy in like a super cool and also really terrifying way.
Oh
Like
God.
it's so funny too because like I love Black Mirror. Have you watched Black
Oh my
Mirror?
God. Yes. Yes, I
Like
have.
only one of the greatest shows ever created.
Hmm.
Would easily fight anybody on that. And it's so funny because you saw a lot of people whenever Black Mirror came out and they were just like, oh, this is so crazy because this could like never happen. And I'm sitting like me and my security friends are just like, okay,
It's happening.
like this is happening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was, and my boss actually said, cause I was talking about Black Mirror I used it I love analogies, especially when I'm presenting, because like you're a marketer, like these marketing terms, just like any other thing, they don't
Yeah.
mean anything to anybody except us.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, it was like something in Black Mirror. And she goes, I can't watch that show. It's too real. And
Yeah.
I was like, no, but it's why it's cool. And she's like,
Yeah.
no, I get it. I liked it, but I couldn't continue. It was too real. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's creepy. So
My favorite
scary.
episode was the one with where everyone had their own personal score. Like you can rate
Mm-hmm.
other people for like having a bad attitude. I'd be like
Mm-hmm.
rating everybody like you suck. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
I was going to ask you a question, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, so Darth, where's Darth?
Darth is
There?
actually at my feet here.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I've moved to a better posture space because normally I record from like my couch, and I figured that
I,
this would be the time not to
yeah.
do
Is
that.
it?
Uh,
Is that a Malamute or what kind of dog is it?
he is a Pomsky, so he's half Pomeranian, half
Okay.
Husky.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so he's only about 25 pounds. He looks bigger in stuff because his head is actually very small. So his head is like probably only like this big.
He looks in the video that you posted. He looks like a big, like a 50-pound dog. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I hear this all the time, and I couldn't figure out why. He's also very tall, so his legs are long in
Okay.
comparison to the rest of him. So yeah, everybody online thinks that he's like whatever, and you also look at him and you think he's like a husky, or you think he's like a
Hmm.
Malamute or something. So it's like, oh, he's probably like 50 pounds. No, he's like 22 pounds. He's small.
That's awesome. I have a teacup Yorkie. His name is Bailey, and he's literally the only one at home that listens to me. Only one. I have two daughters, high school,
Uh,
college, and a wife,
got it.
and he's like my guy. He's like my dude.
Yeah.
He's the one I go to escape with when I want to get away from all that craziness,
That's so
emotions running
precious.
around. So I'm recording this, so you know
Mhm.
that I told you. So I just wanted to explain like why I'm doing this because it was interesting. You know, ever since COVID happened, you know, I know a ton of people, and sometimes I forget the importance of human connection. And I was going back to my feed, some direct messages from friends that I have been friends with for 10 plus years that I haven't talked to since then. And I would see them in my feed or whatnot. And I realized, I'm going to like record my conversations with them. I want to connect with people that matter, with people I want to get to know, people in my network. And so I've had conversations with old students, with some close friends, people that I don't know that I just met, like you. And it's just like a way for me to document connecting again because
So cool.
yeah, I think it's awesome. And you know what?
It's a great
It,
idea.
it's probably not going to turn anything. I'll throw it up on my YouTube channel, share it on Twitter, LinkedIn, and stuff like that. But it's just honestly, it's really been awesome to meet you. And I know we were talking about doing some collaboration. I still want to do that. I'm working on some
Yeah,
stuff
of course.
to do that. But and if I'm ever in New York, certainly would love to meet when all this stuff goes away,
Yeah.
and things get better. I do go there. We have an office in New York, in
Nice.
Manhattan, so I'm there quite a bit. I love New York. New York's my favorite city, by the way. I
It's
love
a
it more
pretty
than San
magical place.
Francisco. I hate San Francisco. I
I've
prefer New
never been
York.
to San Fran.
Really?
No, I've only been to California twice. I never
What
really
part?
went out west. I went to Silicon Valley. What is the town that I was
Like
thinking of?
San Jose,
Santa
Santa
Clara.
Clara?
Hmm.
That's where I'm from. So that's where I
Okay.
live. So, well, I moved south from there, but yeah, New York, it's just like the people, the vibe in New York, like you know where you stand with everybody, right? It's like somebody doesn't like you, they're going to tell you and not talk behind your back to other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
San Francisco, it's like complete opposite.
Yeah.
And
That's how it is at home.
I'm generalizing, but anyway. So thank you so much.
No
I really,
problem. Thanks
really
for
good to
having
talk
me.
to you. Really good to meet you. And I'll post this like next week or something. But
Yeah,
hold on, I'm
cheers.
going to stop recording. So give me 1 second. Let me stop recording.